Steve Harper.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you, Mr. Program Chair. It's a special privilege to be here this afternoon among Kiwanians. Many years ago, I was in the fold, as they say, and served in various leadership capacities, enjoyed all my time. And I come see you every year on that annual Pancake Festival time, and that brings back memories when I used to don an apron and put on a big cook's hat and stand there and flip those things. Sometimes I'd catch them, sometimes I wouldn't. But it was a great time and for a great cause. Also remember that as a new member, and like many organizations, there are times when you get really stretched as a new member and don't really know all the ropes, but you're thrust into a lot of things. For example, you might be called on to be part of the leadership team, maybe as a club officer, or possibly you get tapped to be the project chair, let's say, for a major fundraising event for your youth program, possibly. And when you receive that honor, you stop and pause for a minute and look around, and you realize that your team is made up of volunteers. Think about that for a minute. But you're in the game by then, as they say, and you begin to think to yourself, now where can I go to get some help so that I can learn to be a better communicator, be a better listener, think on my feet, improve my self-confidence, and whoa, if I've got to go out and make a public speech, to be able to keep those butterflies in some kind of formation, because I've read about what goes on in public speaking, and matter of fact, there's an article that I read that was written by Irving and Amy Wallace. It appeared in the publication called The Book of List. And after this survey work was done, and they found that of the 14 worst human fears, including shark bite, by the way, the one that ranked number 1 is the fear of speaking in public. I repeat, number 1, the fear of speaking in public. But there is an organization that can help you overcome that fear, that phobia that we all kind of live with, that fear, that phobia called glossophobia, common household word, glossophobia. But it's that fear of getting in front of groups, expressing yourself, communicating, conveying ideas. But Toastmasters will take you into the fold and teach you things, basic things like, gee, a speech has 3 major parts: an introduction, a body, and the closing. Conclusion, if you will. Simply put, you're going to tell your audience what you're going to tell them, and then you're going to tell them, and in conclusion, you're going to tell them what you told them. Pretty simple. Sounds easy till you start doing it. Once you've got your speech together, then you're going to practice, and practice, and practice until you take ownership of that speech and the message that's in there. Now, whether you are a professional, a student, a stay-at-home parent, or retiree, Toastmasters will give you the skills and the confidence you need to convey your ideas and to be at ease in large groups. Since 1924, some say 1927, Toastmasters International has helped millions of men and women to become better speakers and better leaders. In closing, remember this: to become the speaker and the leader you want to be, look into Toastmasters. And to find the club nearest you, just call this number, 501-663-6122. or go online to toastmasters.org. Mr. Program Chair.
Thank you so much, Steve. We've enjoyed having you here today to speak to our Kiwanis group. If you don't mind, if you have a couple minutes, would you be able to field a few questions?
Absolutely. Oh, I see hands here, I see hands in the back. I'll take the one in the back first over here.
How do you help someone control their nervousness?
And your name, please?
Malcolm Lawrence.
Malcolm, good. That's a great question, Malcolm, and one that I had to deal with, especially in the early going of my Toastmaster experience. Something that has helped me immensely is that when I arrive at whatever the speaking forum is, whether it's a small group like this, club size, or even in vast auditoriums, and I've had that opportunity to speak before, hundreds and hundreds before, I make a special point, number one, to arrive early and prepared, obviously. But arriving early allows you to move and mix with the audience. Get to know these folks. Let them become friends. So now you're not speaking to strangers. You've taken the edge off. But it's one little small procedure and good habit, I think, that many Toastmasters have encouraged me to continue that particular practice. Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay, let's see another hand over here.
Yeah. If I had to pick one or the other, Dale Carnegie or Toastmasters, aren't they similar? What's the difference? That might be.
And your name, please?
Phil McCarty.
Okay, is that the same as Dr. Phil or Prince Phil? Okay, Prince Phil.
I go by
I've heard of you. Your fame precedes you, I guess is the term they use. But that's a very valid question. I think we've already heard some things commented here earlier about cost savings and so forth. And when you compare what Toastmasters, what small fee there is for an annual participants be part of this organization, it is just minuscule in compared to the Dale Carnegie type program. And I've been through two of Dale Carnegie's programs, and they're very good. I'm not here to say anything derogatory, but Toastmasters gives you something that Dale Carnegie wants. You know what that is? That's a rock solid evaluation. Okay, you get the encouragement and all the things that will help you improve your speaking skills. So I vote Toastmasters every time. Does that answer your question? Good deal. It looks like we're out of time. Thank you so much, and thank you, Mr. Program Chairman, for inviting me.
Thank you.